Hello everybody, lights are bright and you're dark. So first of all, I'd like to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Ngunnawal people. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and through them to any Indigenous people here in the audience, and onwards to all Indigenous Australians, and then through them to all First Nations people around the world. Thank you for having me here. Hopefully tonight is going to be fun, and I apologise for all the bad words I say. I had arranged for a very good friend of mine to be here tonight, and my first poem was a poem that I wrote for her 70th birthday. So this is a poem for strong women, nurtured within the malted womb of the Earth Mother, tempered and cast to defy levitation. A forcible will ground sharp, a prow outthrust into the teeth of the tempest. This is a poem for those who would write the lines of history with an unwavering hand, born to understand the cold math of oak and acorn. Those pioneer women who with courage drank the horse's milk from the old leather boot and gathered fallen fruit from autumn leaves to be cradled tenderly above a girder of severed hands, with one foot on the chest of the men who would forcibly forget their name. This is a poem for the strong women who carved the topography and the rivers of the past, those who saw the truth that a tree can stand long after dying. Resolute. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas, for my introduction. Yes, I started that poetry thing that is on at Smith's every other Monday night and evening with back in 2016. In 2018, I handed off the reins to the collective, and I think they all deserve a round of applause because they all are volunteers, they all do it for free, and it is a hard job. So give them all a round of applause. The last time I was on this stage was for my wedding. Thank you, Beth, for providing the stage. And this is the first draft vow that I wrote for Jules. I'm trying, honeybee. Get up and smile for the cameras. Let's get this shit show on the road. Somehow this vow feels like dying, lying beneath the dirt with a brick in the jaw to stop from swallowing the shroud. I don't think we can resurrect. I'm suffocating and dismembered, the face of Khashoggi beneath this wedding dress. I don't know if I believe in forever. That only happens once you're dead. If you can accept for now, for how long, for what it takes, then I say yes. I say that this is for the best. So please say that we're okay, because I feel like we're the flayed skin of success worn over our failures, poorly fitting and badly sewn. So let's do this thing. Stand up and smile for the cameras, and let's get this shit show on the road. I awoke to the sound of my mother masturbating, low and guttural from the other side of the door, moaning the names of long dead men whose dash and daring do could be remembered long after the memory loss set in. Men whose smiles and sly eyes could still bring moisture to her sagged and wrinkled thighs. I dressed slowly to go, hat, belt, shoes, ties. Wends my way through the collected box of receipts, the stacked newspapers, boxes of nuts and bolts and unmentioned memorabilia and dementia keepsakes. This house is a hoarder's museum, and I hope that she forgets that I was ever here to help her make sense of it all, and leave her alone with those happy memories that had her fizzing at the slit. I am a birthday, a star bursting at the seams, a revolutionary of the sun, casting the light of freedom, a seamstress, stitching together dreams from childhood with experience and a sense of purpose, where reaching into orbit is not the same as grasping in the dark. I am a birthday, a celebratory comet trailing streamers of confetti, a flower regretting nothing growing towards the sun, a solar flare shining briefly between new and old, a galaxy of yellow glitter swirled in the cold sea of space. I am a birthday, an illusion of calendars and counting moons and drowning devotions to the sun, an explanation of the entropy that lives within all things carbon, the departing year imparting wisdom that the party ends with me in the earth, and the earth swallowed by the sun as all things become no things. What matters not is the counting of your days, but how they were spent. Ordinary people live ordinary lives, and that is why I am a birthday. Love hides in sidelong glances, misappropriated from chastened eyes, primordial, visceral. Though never crude, love is eloquent in sidelong glances. Love. What is love but a misadventure with nothing gained, save the waste of your sweetest phrases or a hardening of your softest places? Love is a mirror of your mistakes, and only a fool can look at it and not see its ache. A little hot under the collar. Woo! Woo! 3 poems later, no shirt.
I'll go with that.
Like someone came at you with a set of bolt cutters and the magical stitch of scarring. I had seen the emergency cesarean where you had opened yourself to me, hiding behind the hands that had fended off the blows from all those years ago. Trigger warning, by the way. How small he must have looked. 7 months sweet even in your slender fingers, the smile he would have brought to your bruised and beautiful face for the hours that he breathed. A caesura on your life he passed like a fit of anger. You held your breath and lay in the walls behind your child's chalk line. And maybe I was tall enough to see over, or maybe you let me in. But I saw the scar that closed you, the broken bridge of your nose, the heart let barren by its beating. And brick by brick you filled that breach, and it's a hard corner that you've bricked yourself into when your only truth is to abuse or be abused. But I promised you this, that I would only make a fist to hold your hand or to catch a kiss. However, I was pushed away by those hands that still held on to a painful past, but you had opened yourself to me the night I saw your cesarean scar, where that motherfucker had ripped from you all hope of good and godness. This is a poem for the girl with the pale golden hair and the rose-red apple cheeks. This is a poem of the haves and the have-nots. This is a poem of barrenness and of drought breaking, of virginity and of culpability. This is a poem for the girl who within me could cultivate a desire before harvesting it, splitting and twisting its fibers together to weave into a fabric, to sew into a dress, and then discard as out of vogue. This is a poem for the girl who I've cried tears until the very sea that tears are from has dried up, and I was left gasping like a fish on a fillet board. This is the poem for the girl who said I love you still and refilled my cup. And I have always loved you. I have loved you with the same shamed wakefulness as a vein for the needle. I have loved you with the same passion as a moth for the wick. I have loved you through every other lover that you have licked your fingers after, and I will love you still. Long after your ponytails thin and fade or your apple cheeks grey, I will love you each day that my memory lingers, and then thrill to fall in love with you once more. The sun was a polished holiday, golden with age, memory, with history. We walked hand in mind, like train tracks, over water, parallel. We stopped touching on Charles Bridge. The verdigris statues touched until shining their bronze leaf, the streaming people, the blue Vltava, dancing, all in opposition. Who knows what you saw in those cobbled streets, the shadowed alleys, the sunny squares? I saw a clock face. Its hands were touching, the countenance in chiaroscuro, like a sundial. Is this it? We asked, as if there could be something more, as if something waited in the darkened space, the oncoming hours, the days, braced against the cold. What arguments could be made against such a timepiece, seasonal, biological, astronomical? There was something vernal in my greying beard that had you running counter to me, across Charles Bridge towards a younger son. A spring in your step chasing summer, hair streaming gold like sun's rays, like pilgrim-touched statues, like memories. And me, dragging the currents of the dirty Vltava, flowing low like shadows beneath the arched brickworks, maudlin on autumn streets. If you were to dig. Baguio gold and Marcos blood beneath my feet. Yamashita's too. The monsoon rains soften the ground. Soon we will plant beneath banana leaves, peace lilies. Deeper you dig, the worse the soil is. A layer of old sayote vines, rotten fruit, the dust of sawn pines and retting fronds of ferns. Overturn the compost, dig it in. The graft is hard, dirty, resist the shovel. Soon we will plant beneath banana leaves, peace lilies. I went to breakfast just the other day. Actually came here and got one of the breakfast plates. And my breakfast, it had a face, a white frying deadpan, and beneath his little hash brown's hat sat two jaundiced yellow yolk eyes and big pig red bacon lips. And those lips trembled. It was a tremor, like something that the Stoic try not to remember, and I thought that my breakfast was trying to speak. So in the crowded Smith's outdoor area, I leant down and placed my ear to the plate. And in a voice that was old and tired, he said, "I have done some truly awful things that crowd darkly in my mind. I was a soldier, a revolutionary. I fought against the prince, and then when the prince's ideals aligned with mine, I fought alongside of him. We were young, straight of back, strong of limb. We were changing the world. But to change the world, you need guns. And I don't know where they came from or by what criteria they were selected, but they came to me. They came to me and they knelt. They came to me and they knelt in the wet grass of a farmer's field. And I was the wind of change. And BAM! The wind of change was full of screams. And BAM! The wind was full of tears. And BAM! Mouth to muzzle, I blew the wind of change right through them. I stopped. I thought, holy fuck, this is heavy for breakfast. I'm not sure I ordered this. And he continued. He said, thousands of them. Doctors, men, women, children, dentists, Seventh-day Adventists, all there, crowding darkly in my mind. I doubted whether a new communist phoenix could arise from the ashes of machine gun fire, but I kept my eye on the bigger picture and my trigger finger on the trigger. I stopped. I said, "Hey, breakfast, why are you telling me this?" And he said, "I want absolution before I die." Well, I can't really do it. I can't really absolve the murders of thousands of innocents for a political ideal. I mean, I'm a poet. It's just not in my range. And he said, then kiss me. And I looked, and the yolk was streaming down his face. The tears were falling from my eyes as I leant down in the Smith's dining area, and I pressed my lips against his big pig red bacon lips, and I kissed him deep. And I know that every single one of you here tonight would have done exactly the same thing. For surely he is a product of a warped political ideal and not a bad egg.